To continue with my laser eye surgery video diaries. So I had my laser eye surgery yesterday. My right eye had PRK and my left eye had, I thought it was having LASIK, but it actually had like wavefront LASIK. I don't know, I think it's the same thing except for you go under like two different machines. So yeah, I'll just go over how this surgery went. So yeah, you get there and you're just waiting and you're kind of nervous, and then you go in to have your eyes checked, your prescription checked, and then you go back to the waiting room, and then you go into another room where they go over like your eye drops with you, and then you pay for your surgery. So my surgery came up to $3,850, and that included like a bag of a ton of different eye drops and taxes and everything. So once you pay, they bring you down into the waiting room, and the waiting room is kind of like a dark room, and it's with the other patients that are waiting for their laser eye surgery, as well as the people who come back for their laser eye surgery, which is probably not the best idea to have those two groups of people together, but it was okay. So when I got there, there was 3 other people there, and none of them had had their surgery yet, but they were all prepped for surgery with their hats and stuff. And so then they came in, they gave me like the tiniest little pill for anxiety, and they said just put it under your tongue and whatever, it'll dissolve. This pill honestly like did not do anything for me. I wasn't that nervous until I was basically waiting to go into surgery. So the first guy came back from his surgery, and then the next girl went in, and then the guy literally passed out and was unconscious, and my mom was with me in the waiting room, and she's a nurse, and the guy who works at Lasik MD like didn't really do anything. He was like really freaked out because I'm pretty sure people don't usually pass out. So my mom was like helping this guy, and as he came back to consciousness, and he wanted water, and it was pretty crazy. It like that type of thing doesn't scare me, but after watching that, I was like, oh god, like what am I getting myself into? So then I went in. Well, someone else went in. Then it was my turn to go in, and oh yeah, before that they gave me like a cap, and they washed off like my eye area with basically like a makeup remover, even though like you're not allowed to wear makeup, but just to clean off the eye. And so then I go in, and I can't really see anything because I don't have my glasses on. So I get my eyes checked by the eye doctor, or not the eye doctor, by the surgeon. He asks if I have any questions, and I don't. And so then I go and lie down on the table, and at this point I'm really, really nervous, and yeah, like really scared, and I can't keep my head straight. Like, well, I could keep my head straight, but I kept moving, I guess, and I was probably like an awful patient because I was just getting really, really nervous, and like they would want me to look up or look down, and like I just couldn't do it. It was so confusing because they did my right eye first, which is the PRK surgery, and the surgery itself, I actually really preferred the PRK surgery to the Intralase. Anyways, the worst part, well, the first thing they do is they put the freezing eye drops in, and then they tape your eyelids like up and down, and they tape the other eye shut, and then they put in that clamp on your eye, and you feel a lot of pressure, and I didn't like the clamp. And then once the clamp's on, they wanted me to look like up and down, and like instead of moving my eyes up, like my head would move up, and I just couldn't see anything. So I felt like I had no control over my eye, and I didn't know what I was doing. So anyway, eventually we started on my surgery, and so for the PRK, like I didn't mind the PRK surgery. Like the thing comes over to like scratch off your eye, and then you're looking into a red light, and they're kind of counting it down, I don't know, and then they're putting like a ton of eye like liquid at the end onto your eye for probably about 30 seconds. I didn't really like that part. My favorite part of both surgeries was when the actual laser was doing my eye. I never smelled any burning, But that's because, well, I'm assuming that's because, like, I can just block my nose from smelling without, like, plugging my nose. I could just block it. So I just did that throughout my surgery because, I mean, everyone talks about that burning smell. So I just thought it'd probably be better not to smell that. So I kind of, like, blocked my nose so I didn't have to smell anything. So once that surgery was done, they did, oh, and they put, like, the contact lens, the protective contact lens onto the PRK eye. Once that was done, they taped up my left eye, my right eye, and then started on my Lasik Intralase procedure. And I just found this one like so long. Like I swear it took 10 minutes, and like they move you from one machine to another machine, and like they're telling me to look at the red light in the second machine, and I actually couldn't see any light at all, and he's like had to move my head and then I could see it, and I don't know. Anyways, it's not painful at all. You don't feel any pain. It's just, I found it long. And I really didn't like the whole procedure. I just wanted to end, and it was just long. Uh, but once it's done, I was so happy. I walked out, and like, my prescription is really bad. So for me, like, a lot of people in the waiting room said they didn't notice a difference when they were done their surgery. But for me, like, I can make out shapes, I can see someone's nose, like not clearly, but on their face I can make out features and stuff, which is like a big difference for me. So I noticed right away I could see a lot better. So I went back into the waiting room, obviously felt no pain because my eyes were still frozen. Hung out in the waiting room for a while. Started taking drops. You have to take drops every 10 minutes for the first 2 hours, so started on my drops. Went to have my eyes checked after about 20 minutes, and then I basically could leave. They refroze my eyes when I had my eyes checked because after about 20 minutes, my left eye, the eye that had Lasik, Intralase, was like starting to feel a lot of pain, which was so unexpected because I've been told like there's so much pain related to PRK, but like not to worry about this Lasik thing. Anyways, my PRK eye didn't hurt at all. So by the time I was driving home, my PRK eye was like perfectly fine. My left eye was like watering like crazy and just like in so much pain. And I was on Tylenol 3s too, because they give you Tylenol 3 if you're having PRK. So I got home, and even to this point, I'm finding that my eyes aren't that sensitive to light. I don't know if that's because like even before my surgery, like I've never needed to wear sunglasses. Like my eyes just don't feel sensitivity to light. I mean, obviously they do now, but it's not that bad. But I'm still wearing my sunglasses. I'm supposed to wear them for 48 hours, so I'm wearing them for most of the time. Yeah, so I went home. After about 4 hours, my left eye, the LASIK eye, stopped hurting completely, and it hasn't hurt since. It feels 100%. Basically, as soon as my left eye stopped hurting, my right eye, which is the PRK eye, started to hurt. And then I have like a freezing drop. It's not a numbing drop. It doesn't stop all pain. I do have a numbing drop in case of emergency, but so I've been doing freezing drops in my PRK eye as well as Tylenol 3 as well as another medicine. And I'd say yesterday for about the first 9 hours, I was in a lot of pain. I felt nauseous too. It wasn't that pleasant. But after 9 hours, like, the pain is really manageable, and it's way less pain than what I expected, so I'm very, very happy because I was really preparing myself for like literally being in excruciating pain for a week, and like I could go for a walk right now if I wanted to. Actually, I probably couldn't because I do feel nauseous after I move around for like more than 5 minutes, but like pain wise right now I'm in no pain. But that's because I do have like numbing drops on my eyes and I'm on Tylenol 3 because I tend to think like, oh, I'm fine, and then I'll stop doing numbing drops and my eye will start to hurt. But even when my eye is hurting, it's totally like manageable. It's like a burning pain, but like it is not the worst pain in the world. Like yesterday was pretty bad, but even at its worst, like you can handle it. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be at all. Yeah, basically, so yeah, just a really boring recovery. I'm just like listening to audiobooks and lying in my bed because you can't watch TV with PRK, you can't read, you can't do anything.
It's 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm just listening to, I already listened to the entire Bossy Pants book by Tina Fey. It was really good. And now I'm listening to J.C. Dugard's book, which is pretty good as well. Yeah, but like I was able to get up this morning, I brushed my teeth, I washed my face with a washcloth, I washed my hair. Like I didn't think that I was going to be able to be doing all this stuff. So yeah, I'm a bit worried for when they take out my contact. Oh yeah, I went in for my checkup and everything seems to be okay. My left eye is dry, I guess, so I have like tons of drops that I'm having to take every 3 hours and every hour, and it's a lot of work, but yeah, honestly, this entire procedure is way, way, way less painful than I thought it was going to be, and yeah, if you have to get PRK, from what I've experienced, it's so worth it. It's really not that bad. Yeah, so I will keep updating you. Oh, and as far as my vision goes, my left eye, which had the Lasik, is totally seeing 20/20 perfect vision. My right eye, which had PRK, is a huge, drastic improvement from my negative 775 eye. It's certainly not clear, but like mixed together with my left eye that has perfect vision, I'm seeing like awesome. I could go drive right now if I wanted to. I'm not going to, but in an emergency I could drive somewhere. Yeah, and it takes like I think 10 to 14 days for your vision to clear up. Like, so yeah, my right eye still needs to clear up. The only thing that is like kind of freaking me out that I only just noticed today is when I was putting eye drops in my eye, I looked at my right eye, my PRK eye, and my pupil is like very, very tiny, and it's not like the same size as my left eye's pupil. So I'm assuming that's because my eye is still healing and whatnot. But yeah, that's the only thing. But yeah, it's really not as bad at all as what I thought. So yeah, alright. Any questions, comment below. Alright, bye.